Our ambitions are by 2030 in corn and soybeans to be able to plant, care for, and harvest the 10 trillion seeds that get planted every year in the US fully autonomously if the farmer chooses to do so.
John Deere is slowly morphing from the traditional farm equipment manufacturer that we all knew to a technology and artificial intelligence behemoth. It's a move that many people do not seem to understand. Why would a company that has built a solid reputation in the agricultural industry decide to venture into a field that's synonymous with the likes of Apple, Microsoft, and OpenAI? Aside from that, many people are arguing that this move by John Deere to embrace technology and artificial intelligence is largely counterproductive and is actually ruining the future of farming. So, what does John Deere's move to embrace big tech mean? And does it really pose a threat to the future of farming? Stay tuned! John Deere has always been the classic farm equipment manufacturer renowned for its green and yellow tractors, harvesters, pickers, drills, sprayers, and handlers. This equipment has been known for nothing else but sheer power and durability, serving American farmers for years without the need for a replacement. Now, being in the agricultural sector, John Deere has not been vocal in terms of embracing technology, or at least not so much. After all, technology and artificial intelligence, which now form part of big tech, have not been a part of the farming niche until recently. However, all that seems to be changing and changing rapidly. This is after John Deere has seemingly started adopting big tech in its operations in a very big way.
And fix it themselves, but farmers and independent repair shops are not allowed to disable safety features or use Deere's technology to illegally copy the software.
Now, the automaker claims that it's now among the leading robotics and artificial intelligence companies globally, thanks to how it capitalizes on distinct forms of technology, such as advanced sensing and compute data analytics, machine learning, and computer vision. It goes further to claim that the progress it's making in these fronts is to ensure that farmers can do more with the limited resources at their disposal. Indeed, nothing seems to be stopping John Deere in its quest to adopt big tech in every aspect of its operation. One way to see this is by looking at its spending in research and development over the last few years.
Now, Deere's R&D budget is expanding to $2 billion this year, up from the last 2 years, with autonomous tractors and planters reducing the amount of fertilizer used. Deere is betting that these devices will become more attractive to farmers.
Now, from one perspective, this move by John Deere might seem like an innocent, aggressive move by a company that's seeking to leverage the big tech advancements in existence today to attain a competitive advantage over its rivals in the market. However, there might be more than meets the eye. Upon a closer look, there is a valid case that, in fact, the opposite could be true. Yes, John Deere's move toward big tech could actually be threatening the future of farming rather than making it better. But how would this be so? Isn't technology meant to make things more efficient? Well, let's take a deeper look into it. The thing is, for long, the traditional equipment that John Deere produced was mainly meant to just get the work done on the farm. No fancy technology that requires a form of training for farmers to master and implement on their farms. But now, John Deere has come up with a host of technologies that are bound to push the prices of farm equipment through the ceiling. To understand this, we need to look at a few of these technologies that the automaker has launched that are gradually changing the farming dynamics. First up is the exact shot fertilizer system. This system uses several sensors and robotics to help farmers to place starter fertilizer precisely onto seeds during planting. The automaker claims that precisely placing the fertilizer onto seeds rather than applying a continuous flow of fertilizer to the entire row of seeds, farmers will now be in a position to save up to 60% of the fertilizer used in the planting. The fact of the matter is, it's true that this technology could help farmers to lower costs and limit environmental degradation by minimizing runoff. However, what percentage of rural American farmers would afford this technology? Clearly, this technology is cost prohibitive for smaller farmers, many of which lack the capital needed to invest in such specialized equipment. This creates a barrier that leaves large-scale farms to reap the benefits of cost savings and environmental compliance while small farms fall behind. As larger farms adopt this high-tech equipment, they will undoubtedly gain a competitive edge and be better positioned to yield higher output at lower costs. Now, there's an increased possibility that this trend may force small farmers to choose between going into debt to compete or exiting the industry altogether. For many of the small farmers, the latter might seem to be the most rational decision. The outcome? Concentrating production within fewer hands. In essence, John Deere has created a system that represents a future of farming where technology dictates who can participate and who cannot. That's a bit saddening, but one thing would make us happy, and that's if you would take a second to subscribe to the channel and also turn on the notification button so that you do not miss any updates. Now, let's dive deeper into how the good old John Deere is threatening the future of farming by embracing big tech. You might also be forgiven to think that autonomous vehicles are only making inroads among the small vehicle niche. Well, John Deere is leveraging big tech to introduce an autonomous tractor. Yes, the autonomous 8R tractor. This tractor features 6 pairs of stereo cameras that can differentiate between the desired and undesired aspects on the field.
It's 24 months, it's become an even bigger issue to get people that are skilled enough to do the work to be there to execute it.
It captures images and passes them through an extensive network that's capable of classifying every pixel in about 100 milliseconds and decide whether to keep moving or stop. All that sounds great, especially in helping farmers to be more efficient on the farms. But many argue that increased autonomy on this farm equipment will only push farmers away from the traditional hands-on role. This points to one thing. This technology is poised to redefine farming as a primarily managerial activity rather than a physical and experiential connection with the land. And it gets even worse. John Deere has affirmed its commitment to ensuring that it launches a fully autonomous farming system for row crops by 2030. Now, as John Deere keeps enhancing autonomy in its farm equipment, it means that it will be potentially contributing toward diminishing their knowledge of the land and natural processes. Without direct involvement, there's a risk that farmers could lose touch with aspects of agriculture that foster sustainable and adaptive farming practices. Of course, there are those that argue that technology will also take over in these aspects. However, the cycle is still the same. The more advanced the technology, the costlier it is. And clearly, not many farmers are in a position to sustainably purchase that kind of technology, at least not at a time like this when the average salary of a common American farmer in 2024 is only $64,268. John Deere could also be using the right to repair concept to ruin the future of farming in the United States.
John Deere is now allowing farmers to diagnose and repair broken equipment on their own. The agreement signed yesterday will alleviate complaints from farmers over having to wait days or...
Initially, the automaker didn't allow farmers to repair the software aspects of their equipment, meaning that they had to wait for certified John Deere dealers or technicians to repair their equipment whenever they broke down. This caused substantial supply chain issues and whether the equipment would break down. Now, despite allowing farmers to repair their equipment, there seems to be a catch. This means that even the most tech-savvy farmers could still find themselves waiting for days for certified John Deere technicians to come and repair their farm equipment. The end goal? More money for John Deere in the form of repairs and more cost implications for the farmers that are yet to be fully provided with the necessary tools to do their own repairs. The point is, John Deere is on a whole new path, and there seems to be no way back. It's likely that the automaker that was once known for the old-school gear, beam, truss, lever mechanics is long gone, and in its place, a more technology-oriented one slowly coming to life. Although the company has reiterated that it's doing this to help farmers farm better, many are of the opposite opinion. They argue that John Deere has moved from its core value of doing things right to doing things for maximum bottom line. One farmer even complained of how they had to spend $1,500 to activate auto steering on a John Deere's built-in screen, and if they wanted to use a removable screen to move tractor to tractor, they also had to part with another $1,500. Now, that farmer might be in a position to fork out such amounts with ease, but it's clear that a bigger percentage might find it unsustainable in the long run. In the end, it remains to be seen how the automaker will navigate these waters and guarantee a better future for American farmers, despite this move that seems all but popular.